Hello, everybody. Hello, peeps. Welcome to another episode of the Imaginary Boys. This one's a little early today. We're changing it up on you guys. And I am one of the two hosts.
She loves it when we come early.
I mean, does she really, though?
She doesn't have much of a choice, does she?
Is that what your girlfriend tells you to make you feel better, or?
I mean, she doesn't have any choice in the matter, so I guess she just has to roll with the punches, as it were.
I know that you're probably... never mind, I'm not going to go that direction. Anyways, I am one of the two hosts, Mr. Habanero, and clearly the man who arrives too early is our good friend, Mr. Lettuce. How are you doing today, Mr. Lettuce?
I'm peachy. Got some hot oral sex for all of our listeners.
You were just really all about that today. You were you messaged me on Discord and you're like, you ready for the oral sex? And then we're getting prepared off camera or off mic, and you're like, are you ready for the oral sex? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? It's just
yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Damn.
We're gonna put it in your ear hole.
Oh god, I just snorted while laughing.
Yeah, nerd.
I know. So what are you...
That's okay, my girlfriend does the same thing.
I feel that I don't do it that often, but every once in a while I get one good hearty laugh and then I start snorting and I'm just like, oh, why? I'm like a pig. Stop it. Stop it, body. Stop it.
Unlike I like E.
Was that what you were trying to tell me that you do?
I like E. No, I like E the snorty.
Oh, you like E the snorty. Okay. All right. Stop it. Stop it, Ron. Stop it. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. So, you know what? Even though you said you didn't have much to say about it, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. Because here's the thing, guys. We talk about what we're going to try and talk about off camera or off mic before we start. And then sometimes we follow that, thread into the actual podcast. And sometimes we just kind of go off and do whatever the hell we feel like. Some of our best episodes actually happen that way. So
yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft again. I have been. And I know that Lettuce owns it. And I know that his wonderful son absolutely adores the game. I adore the game. I've been playing it a lot. I recently got really hyped into Minecraft again because of the Minecraft Live that just recently happened. I liked what they had to show. I know that there are a lot of people that are kind of salty about the fact that the Caves and Cliffs update was reduced down. They removed the warden from the Caves and Cliffs update. They removed a bunch of other stuff, but they're getting prepared to bring it into the 1.19 update where they'll bring the warden, they'll bring in the deep dark, they're going to bring in a new swamp biome, all sorts of stuff. And I know that people are salty that the Caves and Cliffs has been reduced so much, but I'm actually okay with it because my mindset is that I would rather them get it right. Take the time they need to get it right, get it done, make it so that it's working properly, rather than release a buggy piece of crap too early, So with all that information, I got really hyped. I started playing Minecraft again. I'm not planning to record videos of it. I might do some live streaming of Minecraft. We'll see. Not totally sure, but we'll see if I want to do that. But I'm really into it. I wanted to ask Lettuce, I know that you're not the biggest fan of Minecraft of all time, but you do tend to be okay with it. Do you play much of it at all, or do you play it with your son? Do you watch him play it? What's your take on it?
No and no.
Really?
The last time I have fired, the last time I fired up my Minecraft launcher, was 6 versions ago.
Okay.
when I was on that server that Perp had with his friend.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, I bought Minecraft and played on that server twice.
Mm-hmm. But couldn't get into it.
And then never touched it again.
Yeah. I did actually, I really enjoyed playing on that server with Perp and his friend, but it was hard for me to get into it because even though it had all of the, interesting mods and things like that it has, I just didn't like the fact that it wasn't totally up to date with the most recent stuff. Like that was something that really bothered me because there's a lot of in the most recent updates of the game, there's a lot of quality of life stuff that don't exist in that older version of Minecraft that I was really missing. And that kind of bugged me, so it was a little tough for me to really get into it. I enjoyed playing with Mike and his friends, but I just kind of prefer to stay on the most recent version so that I can get all of the cool stuff that Mojang has been putting into the game and making a normal thing. And also, I like to have all the shaders and the graphical stuff. So, but have you ever actually been really into Minecraft at all, or was it just that one time where you're just like, this is how I'm doing it, and I realize I'm not a fan? Is that what it was?
Like at the beginning, I'd played it a little bit, but no, it's just I it's fun. Like I'll hop in every once in a while,
right?
Just to dig myself through the map.
Just to dig a giant hole.
Just to dig a giant hole. Be like, hey, I'm digging a giant hole, and then I'm like, oh hey, I have other things I could be playing.
Yeah, I get the impression that you're not super into like build base survival style games. Are you just not into those kinds of games, or is it just like Minecraft specifically?
Is Minecraft really a survival game though?
I mean, yeah. I feel like it is. I feel like it's the basis for like a lot of like survival games,
Yeah, it is the kind of the basis, but I mean, since then, see, Minecraft, that whole survival aspect of it,
yeah,
was an afterthought, and it's always felt like an afterthought.
In its like design overall.
Yeah, no, just like in the gameplay and the design, like the gameplay, the design, everything.
Yeah.
The survival aspect of this survival crafting game that Minecraft became,
Yeah,
over time, was
mm-hmm.
at what definitely has always felt like an afterthought, like creepers and skeletons and stuff like that.
Right.
None of them are incredibly like scary.
Says you.
Okay,
Dude, okay,
well,
go ahead.
I mean, I've seen you play. I've seen you run away in plenty of game.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
so like whenever like because you specified like skeletons and creepers, and like when I play Minecraft, skeletons and creepers equals death to me. Like it's like the moment that I like see a creeper, like I sprint away as fast as I possibly can. And like if I hear a skeleton, I'm outie. Like I don't even try to fight it most of the time. Like I'm
like
I'm out of
I
there.
hear a skeleton. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
really? And then I get hit with an arrow, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll just burrow myself into a hole and just kind of walk away.
Yeah.
And at night, so the game gives you this really kind of way too fast day night cycle.
Okay.
And you learn, like, in your first night or two, that hey, find any kind of shelter, like anything that you can get your hands on, get a
Mm-hmm.
shelter and go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And inevitably that means bury yourself into a hole and wait for the sun to rise.
I feel like one of the first things too is to like you got to find a bed. Like you got to find sheep and build a bed so you can like get the night out of the way, get the spooky scary night out of the way.
Well, I mean, sure. you know,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. But if you end up, rolling in a biome that doesn't have a lot of sheep,
Yeah. Which,
you could spend 1 or 2 days walking before you find sheep one.
yep. So then what is your ideal survival crafting game? Like what kind of like, do you like the forest? Are you like a don't starve kind of guy? Like maybe you're into Subnautica? Like do you play games like that or
I like Subnautica. Uh, I need some kind of narrative to drive me.
Okay.
Like I need some kind of narrative, and I kind of need a little bit of a goal.
Okay, to keep you on track.
Otherwise, I feel like I'm just
Bruh.
about,
Right.
and it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere.
Okay. Well, I mean, have you ever been interested in like trying to like get to the end of Minecraft and like defeat the giant dragon and be like, I did it, you know?
No,
Okay. I get that.
because again, this is all just stuff like that's just kind of tacked on.
Right.
Like I thought Minecraft was pretty cool when it was just literally a Lego set.
That's how I
When
feel about it. That's how I
it,
play it. Like
when it was electronic Legos
uh-huh.
back in like the early beta when it was just electronic Legos.
Right. Right.
Like I was perfectly fine with that. And then they tried to attach a game to it,
Uh-huh.
but as I said, it always, because there wasn't like the driving narrative,
Okay.
there wasn't like real goals attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
It always felt like it was just tacked on and kind of like half-assed.
Okay. All right. I
No,
kind
like
of yeah.
Subnautica sounds fine. There was that one that was in E3 that you kind of pointed out that was like, yeah, it's another one of those
Core
uh
Keeper, I think it was
yeah,
called.
Core Keeper.
Yeah.
You know, something along the veins of Stardew Valley. Like
Yeah.
Stardew Valley is a survival game.
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, you're not worrying about, everything
Life and
trying to kill you, but
yeah, you're just trying to actually there was an announcement that looked really cool.
are you talking
Uh
about the new game, the Chocolatier?
yeah, the Haunted Chocolatier.
Yeah, that game looks rad as hell.
That game looks dope.
Yeah. I'll probably get a copy of it when it comes out.
Yeah, that game looks dope.
I was actually playing Stardew Valley a little while ago.
Because you got the ghosty goos
Yeah, it's like a
selling
haunted factory.
yeah, it's like instead of Oompa Loompas, you got ghosts.
That's cool.
Which probably means you had Oompa Loompas.
Maybe I could like play it on the channel and pretend it's a horror game. It's got ghosts in it, it counts.
Yeah, it's got ghosts.
Speaking of horror games and ghosts, I was I mean, unless there's more you want to say about Minecraft,
Oh yeah, no. Like you're excited for
the new update, yeah.
the new the final, like the little bits of that last update. And I know you've been kind of waiting for that, so that's pretty cool.
Yep. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft on my own and really enjoying it again. Like really, really enjoying it again. I will probably stream some stuff. I'm thinking that I might want to do that and just kind of show it off, but I'm not going to be recording videos of it like I was before.
Right.
But yeah, so I wanted to kind of move on because you brought up spooky, scary ghost and stuff. I was going to play a game for the channel. I got really excited about it. It was going to be a really, really super scary game. And I was looking up some information about it because it's been a long time since I played it. And I found out it's got nudity in it. So I can't play it on the channel. And I was really sad.
Nudity.
Yeah.
What was it?
So I was going to play Outlast, which I've played before in my own time. I haven't played it on the channel before.
That has nudity?
Yeah, it does. It does have nudity. And I even like the way that I found out about it wasn't like I was searching through the tags to like be like, oh, I better check for nudity. Like I just assumed that there wasn't. And what happened was I went into the screenshots because I go into the screenshots to kind of like look at for ideas for like thumbnails and stuff like that. I was literally in the process of creating a thumbnail so that I could stream Outlast. And I'm going through the screenshots, and here I just scroll down, and I see a gigantic 1280 by 720 of like a gory, naked, sliced up chick, just butt naked, boobs hanging out, like sliced up from like her, vagine all the way up to her chest. And I'm like, I can't show that at all on camera. That is all. And like, I mean, real, like just legit, like super gory. I think she was like beheaded and like boobs hanging out, blood everywhere. And I was like, that ain't
Yeah,
going on the channel.
I mean, I guess that just shows how
Bruh.
I am. I played Outlast too, and I don't even remember that. So
That's how I feel too. I don't
you were
remember any of
gored.
that stuff from
So
Outlast.
just some chick gored out, gored from the inside out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a naked chick, not a dismembered chick.
Yep. And she was super mutilated and super duper naked. And that made me really sad because I wanted to like stream Outlast for Halloween. What?
I said that's hot.
What, the naked gory chick?
Yeah.
All right, man. Okay, man. Anyways. Yeah, so I was thinking maybe I might try and like record videos of it and then censor it, because I was really looking forward to playing that game. But I don't know, because I really wanted to pick a really, really scary game to play for Halloween, like just really, really scary. And I remember Outlast being just like so scary, like so scary. But yeah, I can't play it, and that makes me sad. So I actually have another game that I picked that is pretty scary, that I'm going to probably play on stream. I was going to play it today, but then I remembered that I had to do this wonderful podcast with my wonderful best friend over here. So I canceled the idea of streaming that game, which is totally okay. I'm sure that there are plenty of people who are like, where the hell is Hobbs? Because I haven't been streaming or creating any content for the last few days, which, by the way, I was going to stream yesterday and I ran into some technical difficulties. I was dealing with some sound issues, and I couldn't figure out what was going on until much later in the night, and then I managed to fix it. I was like, you remember a while ago, Lettuce, I was having trouble with my headphones, and like I couldn't like get them to work properly. You remember that? Like that happened a while ago?
That was many moons ago, and my memory's not the best in the world.
Yeah.
Man.
Basically, that happened again, and I was having a lot of struggle to deal with it, but I managed to fix it. I learned how to not be dumb at computers, and which is like why I'm able to do this podcast right now, is because I'm not having trouble with that anymore.
Nice.
But by the time I figured it out, it was way too late for me to stream, so I was like, all right, screw it.
I re-downloaded the Homestar Ruiner episode 1.
Okay. Is that like a game?
Yeah. So back in the days of Windows Vista.
Right. Oh god, that was a time, wasn't it?
Yeah, back in the day, Telltale Games, like right as they're hitting their surge with the Walking Dead, their Walking Dead games, which are actually really good for point and click adventure games.
Sure.
Walking Dead season 1, probably one of the better Telltale games.
I remember they had kind of like a comic book style to their artwork, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, this was more comic book than it was TV show.
Yep, I remember that.
Walking Dead.
I remember because I used to see the advertisements for that game all over the place when that game was in its prime.
Yeah, no, Walking Dead. If you like point and click adventure games, I definitely suggest getting Walking Dead season 1.
Okay. It's just I've never been a big fan of the Walking Dead series overall, so that's why it's been.
Neither have I.
Okay.
Like, I don't like the TV show that much. like I can't watch more than like 1 or 2 episodes, and I'm like, uh,
Yeah, that's how what happened to me. I
um,
watched like 2 episodes of the show, and I was just like,
yeah.
"Nah, I'm good."
But Telltale Games, as they're making all their money off of The Walking Dead, they got the license for Homestar Runner,
Okay, interesting.
and they made a 5 episode uh, series based on Strong Bad.
Well, that's because he's the best character.
Well, yeah. So last
Oh, the
weekend,
cheat.
last weekend, I was going to uh, possibly stream
Don't,
play because
don't make promises you can't keep, buddy. You're on the podcast, bro. People are gonna hear this.
yeah, well, no, I was seriously considering it because the last episode we
Yeah.
had brought up, I had like tangentially brought up Strong Bad and HomestarRunner.com,
Yeah.
and it occurred to me that your audience has a mixture of people,
Uh-huh.
most of whom probably have never experienced the Homestar Runner.
Oh man.
So what I was going to do was stream this Telltale game
Okay.
while, maybe interacting with the chat if people have questions about Homestar,
Yeah. Go
and I
for
could
it, man.
answer questions. I thought that might be a really cool stream to do, but then I decided I like sleeping better.
So you're not gonna do it after all that buildup. You're not gonna do it.
I haven't decided that I'm never going to do this.
Okay.
And I don't have my kid this weekend
Uh-huh.
because the town I live in is kind of lame for Halloween.
Great.
And I don't honestly feel like dragging his ass around other places trying to get candy.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to do the trick or treat thing. And he's got a little brother and sister
Right,
who are of the age to where they're starting trick or treating too. So I was like, I'll trade weekend. So I told my ex-wife, I was like, I'll trade weekends with you if you've got like some Halloween plans. She's like, I really don't. And I was like, yeah, it might happen. Like you might find something in, Xavier's little brother and sister are like 4 and 3, so they're like right getting at the age.
right.
And Xavier is kind of hitting the tail end of his trick-or-treating peak.
I mean, me and my friends, we trick-or-treated when we were teenagers, but also we also did like, bad pranks on Halloween as well as
Right.
teenagers.
I'm saying, I'm saying his wholesome trick-or-treating.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Where he finds where he makes a cute costume
Right.
and walks around and asks for candy.
Right.
Not the runs around with some eggs and toilet paper and does a mischief.
Yeah. Like, when I became a teenager, it's like, oh yeah, like I still went trick-or-treating and got candy, but I also, went around destroying the neighborhood, went to parties, got drunk, and messed around with floozy women. So, like, trick-or-treating was still a thing when I was a teenager. It's just, it took on new kinds of meaning as a teenager.
Right. So I actually don't have my kid this weekend.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of free days, and because you work, I was thinking maybe this would be a great time for me to hijack your community.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
It'd be like, hey guys, Habs isn't streaming, but I'm a much better gamer.
Lick me, bro.
I mean, I could play games and not, jump scare myself.
But that's like the best part. Don't you like being scared? I love being scared. I love horror games.
Dude,
I love horror games. And I love horror movies.
I'm old as bruh. Jump scare could kill me.
My heart.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
So I might this weekend start like streaming the strong bad episodes.
That could be pretty fun. You should do it. Like I'm just trying to get you to like make content. Like I think
Yeah, I know. You keep trying to bully me into it.
Well, because so here's the thing. Here's the thing, Lettuce. I personally think that you are like you would be a great content creator overall. I really think that. That's why I keep like bothering you about
No,
this stuff.
I agree with you. It's just uh time and energy for me at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll admit, like, creating content, it's like taken over my life. Like, it's pretty much all I think about and all
Yeah,
I
I
do.
can't afford to do that either.
Yeah.
Like I have big boy job,
Mm-hmm.
and it does take a lot of my mental and and sometimes physical energy out. So
Yeah.
uh like I would like to
Right. Right.
like stream more,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that would be a fun use of my time. But there is even the days where I'm working from home,
Mm-hmm.
which has been few and far between. I've actually had to travel a lot
Right.
lately.
Yeah. Well, that's like why we're doing this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's so
Really.
that's why we're doing this, because
Yeah.
I'm on the road all the rest of the week.
Yep.
Uh, and we're also probably going to be early next week too, because I will
That's
be on
fine.
the road next week as well.
Yeah. That's fine.
Parts unknown.
Okay.
Um,
That's okay.
so like, but even when I'm working from home, like after I like am done for the day,
Yeah.
like I just want to curl up in
Relax.
bed, and I just want to
Yeah.
curl up in bed and just like end it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, people, stuff, thing, blah. So I just like, do I really want to sit and, continue sitting in my office and fire up a game and try to, like, I'll play games, but do I want to go through the trouble of setting up my thing to where I'm paying attention to a chat and I'm playing a game and I'm trying to juggle the whole entertaining while playing the game thing?
Well, so the first thing there was a couple of things I wanted to say. The first thing that I want to say was I am actually right now trying to take a step back, in the sense of I'm trying not to be like as serious about making content, um, because I started realizing that it was really stressing me out a lot. And so now I'm kind of like trying to like go backwards, and I'm trying to say, well, you know I want to like make my audience have a good time, and the only way that I can make them have a good time is if I'm more relaxed. And if I'm forcing myself to like make content when I'm like super not mentally into it, I'm just going to be like stressing myself out, and then they're going to get like realize that something is up. So I'm purposely kind of like trying to relax and like do it on my own time when I'm more comfortable, rather than be like, oh, I have to do this constantly all the time, like every single day, like um so I mean, I brought that up because that might help you ease more into it, in the sense of like when you're more comfortable with it, and you feel like you like, because you said like, oh, like maybe I think I might want to do this because it would just be kind of fun to like do. And it's like that's how you should do it, is you shouldn't
Well,
make it a priority, you
no, it's
know
just, but the whole thing is like I can sit there and I can play a game and I can record myself playing a game.
right.
However, who wants to like? I wouldn't sit through that.
Hmm. You mean as like
Like,
a person who's like an audience member?
yeah, if I'm watching, I'm not sitting through that.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
because at that point, like I'm just like, if he's just playing a game,
mhm,
I'll watch the VOD.
right.
Like if there's like no interaction, or there's no like back and forth or banter or anything like that, if there's no reason for me to be there, I'll just catch the VOD later.
Right.
So that's my thing, is like, if I'm going to do this, I want to at least do it the way I think it should be done, right?
Okay.
Which is the, got the game going,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm interacting with chat to whatever I can,
Yeah.
and possibly, you know and especially with this thing, if I have people who don't know what Homestar Runner is,
Mm-hmm.
then I could be like, oh man, like you this used to be so great. You can go to homestarrunner.com
Mm-hmm.
and check out all these things. And they've got a YouTube channel where their videos are kind of hidden now because a lot of their back content was lost to the great Flash purge,
Yep. That's right.
and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then I could be like, but then I can just like play the game and we'd have a good time there. If just like at the end of my normal days,
Mm-hmm.
like if I'm playing a game, I kind of it's like that whole just not full screening and just kind of like zoning out while playing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just anything else like that just sounds like something I wouldn't be able to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I would much rather be known as the person who doesn't put out content than be the person who puts out shitty content.
Yeah. I get that. Well, another thing I was going to ask is, are you like, because I do this, like this is a thing that I just do, um and I can't help it, is do you ever, like when you're playing games by yourself, do you ever just start like talking out loud about like what's going on, like
No, no, no.
see, I do that and I can't help it. Like for example, I told you I've been playing Minecraft by myself, right? I talk out loud, like about like ridiculous things that are happening, or like what I'm up to, or if I'm like making plans to like do something in the game, I talk about them out loud to like nobody. and I've even talked about it before with my audiences that like I've been doing that my whole life. Like I'm a person who is just like when I'm playing games or doing something like that, like I just speak out loud. Like I'll crack jokes to nobody. I'll like, if I see something scary and I'm running away from it, I'm like yelling out loud like how scared I am and running away, like I was screaming like a little baby. Um, whenever I'm planning to build something or do something in the game or come up with a plan, I like, speak out loud like my step-by-step process of what I'm about to do. Um, so I mean, like that's just like, even whether I'm have a camera rolling or whether I'm just playing it by myself, like I'm just doing that and I can't help it. um but I kind of like over time, like especially when I got into like doing the channel, I kind of realized like, whenever I'm playing a game and like I'm just doing that because it's just natural to me, it's like it's probably just in general better to have a camera rolling, like because you never know what kind of gold is going to come out of your mouth. Like, you never know when you're playing Minecraft and then suddenly you get jumped by a creeper and then you say a bunch of wacky things, or like that is. And I mean, the thing is too is that I also know that people train themselves to do that too. So for example, one thing I was thinking about, and this is where I was thinking it could apply to you, is that uh I was watching, there's some podcasts that I watch. I've talked about it a few times. There's this one podcast that I was watching where one of the guys on the podcast was talking about how he has been doing more and more streaming of games and things like that. And he was saying how, he didn't used to be a person who would, talk out loud to like an audience or whatever, or just in general while playing a game, and it felt very weird. But he kind of like, as he streamed more and more, like he kept like doing more streams, and he would find like random things that are happening in the game that he would point out and be like talking about it. And it could be lore, it could be something funny, it could be something scary, like just anything that he can pick out of the game that is happening, that he can draw attention to, and like also talk about it himself, or make a silly comment about, or whatever, to desperately try and grasp for something that he can interact with his audience about. And he said, like, as he streamed more games, he got more and more used to it. And then over time, it just kind of became natural to him. and he would just do it all the time. Like he's always like finding things happening in the game that he can like have a conversation about or say something about for the purpose of interacting with the audience. And then he said what started to happen was he got into a situation where now, yes, he's still streaming games, but he's also just playing games for fun by himself. You know, like I said, what I'm doing with Minecraft right now. He just plays games by himself too. And he said, now that I've adopted that, you know, particular, you know, habit of pointing things out in the game and interacting with the audience about them, I now do it when nobody's listening or watching. So he's like, he was saying, it was really funny because he was giving an example of like him being at his parents' house for like some reason. And he was playing a game for fun. And he's just like speaking about the game while he's playing it. And then, and then his parents come in. They're like, "Are you on the phone with somebody?" And he's like, "No, I'm just playing a game." And they're like, "You're playing a game, but you're speaking out loud to nobody?" And he's like, "Oh my God, you're right. I am speaking out loud to nobody." You know? So, I mean, I think that, you know, like the thing is too with that kind of thing is like if you're worried about entertaining an audience for playing a game, you just kind of like have to practice at it. Cause like I said, that guy was kind of explaining how it wasn't natural to him. He kind of like had to like get used to it by streaming a bunch for a while. And then over time, it was just it's like any skill, you know, it's just like having any other kind of skill where it's like you just have to keep doing it until it just comes natural. And then next thing you know, you're, you know, in your room with the lights off playing a game by yourself, talking out loud like a crazy person. So
I've given enough I've performed enough meetings,
yeah.
virtual and in person, to where talking to an audience while demonstrating something isn't an issue.
Okay.
It's just a matter of I don't want to.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, no, it's like the demonstrating the demonstrating to a talk, you know, performing meetings, demonstrating something. I have a lot of experience with that. It's just I know what it requires.
Right. Well, because it's
Um,
work, you know, it's work. You have to like actually put in a physical and mental effort to get it done, you know? And I get that.
yeah, so I just and I would like to do another Kingdom Hearts 2 rando run uh
Sure.
with some of the new changes that they've made
Okay.
to rando. Uh it's a little bit more stable on PC now, so I'd like to, since I'm not having to worry about having to fix a crash
Right.
while streaming,
Right.
that it might feel a little bit better. I have the one that's up on my channel that I'm not incredibly proud of because, well, first of all, I was still recording with my headset microphone, and that picked up my nasal sounds.
Uh-huh.
So you spend most of the time listening to me breathing instead of like talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not good.
That's rough.
Yeah.
It happens, man. You got like it's a live and learn kind of thing, you know?
Well, like instantly, that was what kind of was after like watching it back to see like, because that was like the first real time, like first time that I actually spent like 2 hours playing a game
Right.
while streaming for, apparently, I mean, it was just Mads and Wrath, but you know, I was, you know, trying to do my thing with interacting with them, talking about, you know, if I saw a question come up, you know, answer it as the best of my ability.
Right.
But there was a lot of long pauses where there wasn't any interaction,
Mm-hmm.
and all you could hear is my nasal sound.
Yeah.
So
That's why you gotta keep the babble going. You just gotta just not shut
or
up.
spend $150 on a good microphone.
Well, that too, that does help. that does definitely help. I would not disagree with that in the slightest.
And it's helped me here too.
Yeah, it definitely, like, oh my god, you sound like leagues better since like the first couple of times that we did this podcast.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, a part of it too is that if you have like a nice microphone, like that's cool and like that fixes that problem. But then you run into of like you have a nice microphone, but then it's just dead silent, you know?
I could deal with dead silence.
Okay.
I could like if I'm streaming a game,
Mm-hmm.
then you hear the slight game audio in the background
Mm-hmm.
instead of
I definitely see where you're coming from.
yeah, like
Um,
I'm fine with you having to listen to, you know, whatever background audio that I have kind of, you know, in the
yeah,
background. Like slight background audio is fine if there's nothing else for me to say.
there
Then
are,
I'll
yeah,
just play. And if I need to talk, then you'll hear me talk. The problem is you weren't hearing the background audio. You were hearing me breathing through my nose.
yeah. There are some channels now that I think about it that I've seen that just do like silent playthroughs of games, and a lot of them are really successful because they're doing like some of them just play through the game, but a lot of them are also like showing you how to like do things in the game, and they just like run it silent, like they don't speak, but they have like the game audio playing, but then they have like titles sometimes that pop up if they're doing like a tutorial or something,
Yeah,
just
like
kind of like, yeah,
glitch displays for things like, you know,
yeah, yeah,
how to wrong warp in Ocarina of Time.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, you know, you could probably do like actual silent playthroughs, and they'd probably do all right. Like, you know, because I've seen that kind of stuff happen. Like it's not a successful thing. Like there are people who, and some of them, some people just watch them just because they want to see the gameplay. Like they don't want to hear people talk. Like because I actually know somebody who is, you know, into that kind of thing, like my father. So like he doesn't, like my father doesn't actually watch, you know, video games being played, you know, on YouTube or anything, but I do know that because there was a time where when I was starting to watch YouTube, and there were some games that I wanted to show my father, and I was like, oh well, like you should watch, you know, this guy play the game, and he would watch it on his own time, and he's like, you know, like the games, he would message me back or talk to me later about it, and he'd be like, you know, the game seems really interesting, but I can't stand listening to the guy just talk on and on and on about what he's doing in the game, or like the stuff that he's like trying to say in the game. And I'm like, but that's the point. And he's like, yeah, I think I'd rather just see the game. You know. So I mean, you know, there are people that are like that. Like they don't want to be like entertained by a person. They don't want somebody to make the ha-has or the funnies. They want to just see the game play out like a movie. So, and my dad is somebody who's made it pretty clear that if he were to be watching a video game online and not actually playing it, that would be his preferred way of doing it. So there is an audience for that. And if you want to do that, Lettuce, like maybe you can get my dad to watch. Like maybe that's the kind of audience you're trying to go for, man. Like, you know, it exists. So yeah.
I mean, I probably could do that, but then I feel like I would have to edit it,
Yeah.
and I'm not an editor.
I was about to say editing's a whole new can of worms.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still teaching myself how to edit. Um but yeah, I was actually thinking that if I really got desperate and wanted to do Outlast, which I was talking about earlier, I would probably record it instead of stream it specifically so I could edit out the nudity. Um, so, but that's, you know, that's literally like, you know, you spend a day recording like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, and then you spend like the next, like, you know, 6 or 7 days like editing the footage down so that you can have like a proper episode that's like less than an hour. um and like you know, like an individual day for each episode that you're working on. It's like, ugh. It's like I take an entire day to you know, edit 1 hour of footage. It's like, oh god, why? But I mean, that's the life, man. That's the life of, you know, entertaining and editing and all that stuff. And I really do overall want to become a better editor, because I keep saying to myself, like, if I can get really good at video editing and stuff like that could also be a skill that I can take on as, like, you know, maybe I could get paid to edit other people's videos or something, you know? Like, I would love to just hone my craft on my own videos, obviously, but if I got really good at it, that could be like another job or something, or another stream of revenue for me or something, just getting paid to edit. But I have to just be better. I just got to be better. That's kind of like my life.
Get good, scrub.
That's, yeah, pretty much. Like, that's kind of like my mentality in a lot of things, is like, it's like, oh, but it didn't turn out well, and it's like, well, I guess I just got to be better then, don't I? One of my favorite sayings that I love to say is, a great man once told me, "You're either the best or you're not." And you know where that man is now? He's in prison.
Yep.
Yep. I love that, because there are a lot of people who hear that and then they're like, "Wait, what?" It's like, "Yep, that's how it goes. You're either the best or you're not." And sometimes when you're the best, it lands you in prison.
Yeah.
Yep. Uh,
so anyway,
yeah. Um, yeah, well, okay, so I'm kind of glad that I decided to leave this as like a major afterthought, because those other topics were a lot more fun to discuss. But I really did actually want to talk about this a little bit. For anybody who is wants to hear some interesting drama that has been kind of on my mind lately because of the madness that it has gone into, the absolute dive into madness that it is. Valkyrie, the Twitch streamer. I had to kind of explain this to Lettuce off screen, because he doesn't really know much about it. So I'll probably have to talk about some details to it to kind of give some clarification. So Valkyrie is a Twitch streamer who plays games. She's not a booby streamer. She's a lady who is apparently an incredibly talented gamer. She's very good at playing games. She's on her own esports team. She makes a lot of money playing games. She's very successful. All this stuff. And you know, like, I mean, I've known she's existed for quite some time, but I mean, it's just not something I'm super interested in until, you know, I'm usually not super interested in these people until they get themselves into really hot water. And Valkyrie has gotten herself into some incredibly hot water recently. And it's really interesting to me because it speaks a lot about who she is as a person. And like, because it blows my mind, because like, she's never really stood out very much, in the sense of like, you can't really get a gauge on like what kind of person she is based on what she normally does, or you know, like what kind of, where her mindset is for a lot of things, because she's just like, oh, I just play games, like that's it. But this particular hot water that she's gotten herself into really says a lot about how she views business and business practices, which is really interesting to me. Valkyrie recently got into a skincare line, that she basically was confronted by a cosmetic company that decided that they wanted to create a skincare cream that is supposedly like a sunblock, but it's a sunblock for basically computer screens, which is, so like people who are like sitting in front of their computer screen, like say me and Lettuce, for example, this skincare cream would be targeted at us. So it's supposed to be sunblock for people who stay indoors and sit in front of a screen all day. And right off the bat, there should be alarm bells going off in your head because that shit don't make sense. um, for anybody who wants to know, and I mean, Lettuce was kind of actually explaining this to me a little bit off screen as well, is that actually, you can in fact get some form of skin damage from sitting in front of a computer screen or a television screen all day and all night. However, it would literally take an absolute insane amount of time to get
Yeah.
any. It's so like the amount of time you have to spend in front of a screen to get any kind of damage to your skin is so long, and it's literally, if you're sitting in front of a screen that long, there's no way you're living life practically as a normal human being.
Like
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
to get the the kind of UV contamination where you would feel any kind of effects from it, you would have to have a monitor with enough brightness. Not every monitor has the capability of getting this bright.
Mhm.
With enough brightness, and have the brightness all the way up, and be in light colors so that you are kind of letting through a lot of that UV backlighting.
Mhm.
You would have to be sitting 2 inches away from your screen at like 22 hours a day.
Yeah,
And then after a week of that, you might notice your skin is a little twingy,
or flaky or something.
or yeah, dry and flaky.
Yeah.
Like, but that's also partially because in a week you didn't bathe because you spent 22 hours hugging a monitor
Yep.
and the other two sleeping.
Yep. And the thing is that a lot of people from some of the people that have been talking about this, they basically were saying that level of damage that would take that particular amount of time is comparable to being like basically like 5 minutes out in the sun.
Yeah.
So in like the sun and on a hot day. So
It's
it's
the it's the same idea between the monitor blue light thing,
yeah. Yeah.
which is kind of true but not really.
Well, it's the classic of like it's technically scientifically true, but the way that it would have to play out is so extreme. It's like the idea of saying it's not impossible, it's just improbable, you know? Like it's not like if you tried really really hard, it can
Like you
happen.
like you would have yeah, you would have to be going for that Darwin award.
Yeah, exactly. So,
The
it's
person who tries to overdose from caffeine,
yeah,
like you like literally
they're going for that dry scooping challenge.
they're dry scooping and
Oh
packing it
god.
into their anus
Yeah, man. Yeah.
because
There you
because
go.
that's because that is literally the only way that you could overdose
Yeah.
from caffeine without your body purging it.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, so oh god, that dry scooping stuff is so bad though. I've been like hearing about it lately and it's like, come on guys. Like I feel like people are trying to find interesting ways to kill themselves so that they can become famous on TikTok overall.
Yeah, no, it's again people.
Like there was like the milk crate challenge for a while, right?
Yeah, the milk crate challenge. It's like,
And
oh hey, yeah, do this for clout, but
yep,
if your crates collapse,
you're dead.
enjoy being a
Yeah.
quadruped.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody wants to kill themselves for clout. So it's all
We'll
good,
call
man.
we'll nickname you Christopher Reeves because you're definitely not Christopher Walken.
Ooh.
I bring the funny.
That one like took a second to hit, but man, that was good. That was a good one. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Back to the Valkyrie thing. Yeah, so she's basically gotten like the thing that blew my mind about about the whole Valkyrie thing, because we just kind of explained the idea of this supposed skincare product, and it should sound like something that is not a good idea, like to a layman, like like anybody listening to this podcast, like you should realize when we explain that to you, like that does not sound like a good business decision, right? She goes all in on this. I'm talking about all in. Like I'm talking about like
She's a part owner of the company.
yeah, she's a co-founder.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is like they weren't very like they were the thing that blew my mind was that
Like
they
Zombie
had
Unicorn and the Bully Hunters.
oh god, that was so bad. I guess it is kind of like that, huh?
It is exactly like this.
Oh my god. Wow.
This is your typical like not so bright influencer.
Yeah, but like I just like what really blows my mind about it is like it, I feel like that it's so easy to like realize that it's like not a good choice. Like that's why I'm so taken aback by it and why I wanted to discuss it is because like it seems so obviously a bad decision, right? And we're talking about a woman who is one of the most successful game like female gaming streamers of all time currently. Like it's just
I mean, sure, but got to get that bag.
yeah, but like I mean the thing is too is like now she like there's discussion as to whether or not she's going to retire because like she did like I mentioned okay so after all this I feel like I'm kind of skipping ahead. Let me kind of talk about let me roll out the whole red carpet for you guys here. So
Okay.
it's because so she obviously gets involved in this skincare product thing, which is like a big mess. Like it's just red flags right from the very beginning. And what ends up happening is she's talking about it on Twitter and trying to advertise it and get it out there. And she has a bunch of friends, family, as well as other YouTuber influencers or content creators who are supporting her in all of this, right? And there's some big names. There's some big names that are like, oh, yeah, we support you. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to go out and buy your product now. Like no joke, like there were multiple large YouTubers who were like, hey, like this product's legit, like I'm gonna go out and buy it, blah blah blah. And so that kind of unleashed, and like there were all friends, family, and YouTubers were all jumping on the train here, the bandwagon. And but obviously the internet being the being the internet, there were a lot of people were like excuse me, like like there was a lot of people online who were just like, does anybody else realize that this is obviously not a good idea? Like this is obviously not a good idea. So they started the the power of the Twitter started riddling the entire thing with holes. They started doing their own research, they started looking into it. They went on to the official website and there is no proper like medical information. The only medical information that is provided is from WebMD, which is not a good place to be getting medical information. Um, and on top of that, they had like a disclaimer on the official website that basically said like, like these are not things that are 100%. I can't remember the exact words they use, but it's like one of those legal disclaimers where it's like, they say like, product may not like work or function as stated based on like what is written for like how it's supposed to function or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
Twas Pirelli's miracle elixir. That's what did the trick, sir. True, sir, true.
Is that Music Man? Was that
No.
music? Oh, okay. I thought that
No,
was like
it's
a reference to Music Man.
Sweetie Twad.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. I do know Sweeney Todd. Okay. Um I started like getting flashbacks to Music Man for a minute.
Nope,
Uh,
Sweeney Todd.
um, I always like the song where they sing about the evilness of pool. Um, that's not Sweeney Todd. Sorry, that's Music Man. But
Right.
yeah. Anyways, yeah. So it is a miracle elixir. But yeah, so then they started like explaining, like there were people who came out and basically explained what me and Lettuce just said, which is like you have to be sitting in front of your computer for like 22 hours straight every single day for like a week for this to even work.
And to
Or
have
to,
your monitor display nothing but white.
yeah, exactly. So people were just kind of like going at it and like with real science, they were going at this like messy bad business decision. And after it became really obvious that this is a terrible business decision, a lot of supporters, which mostly include the YouTuber influencers and things like that, that were kind of like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna go out and buy it, blah 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 blah. Like they were like, okay, time to, you know, delete all tweets, time to bail, time to get the hell out. Uh, so, and there were a bunch of people who were supporting her who just like, who were like big, you know, influencers who just straight up deleted their tweets. Some of them went as far as to even like, you know, after having supported her through Twitter, then went on to their channels and started, you know, after finding out the real science behind it, and then started putting Valkyrie on blast. Like, just like saying, like, oh, this is like, how do you not see this is a scam? Blah, 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 blah. And like, and it's just, it's so bad. Um, so then, you know, at this point, it's like, girl, it's over. Like, you need to get the hell out. You need to take the money and you need to go on like a 2 or 3 month vacation. You need to get the hell out of Dodge. Like, that's what you need to do. Just go the route of Amaranth is what I say. Like, just do what Amaranth does. Grab the money. Flee to Mexico for like 3 months, and like after 3 months, you'll be fine. It'll be fine. You can come back and start making money again. But instead, she decides that she wants to go onto Twitch and do live streams. And she starts live streaming about the whole situation. She starts talking about the company. She starts like, you know, explaining how the research was never actually properly shown to her. She basically starts explaining how like she basically makes herself worse by saying, "Oh yeah, like I blindly signed into all this and like didn't actually like do my own research or, you know, try to figure out what was going on or any of this stuff." And it's
In
like,
my
which
little
just,
bit of research for this, she has since also said that she has been shown the research, but the research can't be made publicly available.
yeah. And it's which makes her look worse.
And she's also said that she wanted to part ways with her company, but she's contractually bound to them.
Yeah. And
And I'll get into that here in a little bit.
yeah, she may be basically all this stuff that she's saying also could lead her into a lawsuit, because she, you know, you're not supposed to be, you know, when you're contractually obligated to a company, a lot of the time they have like, you know, a what's it called,
NDA,
yeah, and
non-disclosure
then
agreement.
yeah, NDA, or also you're not supposed to say bad things about the product in general. um and and also on top of it, she starts like she does all this stuff which is really bad business practice, which means she could get sued over this by the company that she, you know, got involved in, that is obviously not good. Like, this company is obviously very sketchy, but they still have the legal, you know, grounds to probably sue her if she keeps trying to like do this, like talk about them in this way. And then on top of that, in that stream where she was doing that, she also starts putting all these other influencers on blast. She starts naming people off who like she starts naming people off that like were supporting her at first and then deleted their tweets or went backwards and were like, you know, said that it's not actually a good thing to support her or whatever. So she's basically like on a burning ship going down with it after hitting the iceberg. You know, she's on the flaming Titanic going down into the ocean, and she's like, nobody's allowed on the rafts. I'm taking all of you down with me. It's just like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's just insanity. I can't
I
believe.
mean, so this is a problem that almost every young social media influencer has.
Uh-huh.
They are in a position of power, kinda.
Okay.
There was, back in my day, there was a concept called a thought leader. And this person used to be like the pastor of your church, or, people who have done things.
Right.
The thing is like these thought leaders were like older and really experienced.
Sure.
They weren't, some 24-year-old, playing,
Fortnite.
Roblox on Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have this girl who has a makeup company, a skincare / makeup company,
Mm-hmm.
throw a bag at her and said, we want you to market, we want you to be the face of this product line that we are putting out, and yada 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 for gamers, especially girl gamers like you, because you're a famous girl gamer.
Exactly. Because it's a
And
cosmetic line, which is
and
targeted at ladies.
right.
Yeah.
And she sees the bag, and then she's like, yeah, got to get that bag.
Yeah.
And almost every, and this isn't a new story, idiot social media influencers have a little bit of clout, and the second that they think that they can monetize on it, they do it without questioning.
Yeah, they don't do their research or anything like that.
Yeah, there was this thing going around a couple of years ago about a mental health initiative that ended up being like a scam.
Really?
Yeah, and it caught a bunch of YouTubers. But it was just a company who's like, yeah, we'll give you a bag, and just talk about our company.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube influencers are the new movie stars.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Or the new, or, because, I mean, it used to be, you had to be, famous for doing stuff for a long time before a company, for a company to come to you to be a spokesperson.
Right.
Now these young YouTubers, they get like 1 million subscribers, and then, they get basically, I think it was Ultra that came up to Valkyrie and was like,
Yeah, something like that.
hey, we want you to be a part of this company. We're going to list you as the co-founder, and you're going to pimp this for us.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me see that bag.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw that bag.
Yeah.
So, like, I hear you talking about it, and I'm like, well, this isn't new at all.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, there was a big to-do on Twitter about FaZe Clan
Mm-hmm.
pretty much pump and dumping crypto on
Yep.
their
Save the kids.
the Save the Kids coin.
Yeah. What
Or
a
like
bad
any,
name for such a big scam, by the way. Oh man.
yeah. I mean, it was really shady.
Yeah.
But the thing is that's like, I'm surprised like it wasn't crypto that,
Yeah.
because that's a really like popular scam for influencers to get in on.
Yeah.
Like, at any given moment, there's like 3 scam coins being pumped by influencers at any given moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Crypto's so
So
messy.
like this story just it isn't an original story.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't unique, and like I don't know why like it's actually a story at all.
Yeah, I just the thing that blew my mind about it is like how the thing that why I was so into it is because it blew my mind how obvious it seemed like from the very beginning to me. Like the moment that it's like, oh, it's a skin cream that, prevents you from skin damage from sitting in front of a screen for too long. And I'm like, I hear that and I'm just like, well, that's just snake oil. Like
Yeah.
like I hear that and I'm just like, there's no mistaking that. There's absolutely no way I could possibly
Okay.
mistake that.
So 30-year-old habanero
Yeah.
who isn't being paid $250,000,
Right. I guess that probably would have something to do with it, huh?
who isn't being flashed a $250,000 bag,
Hmm.
because that's what a $3 million that's what a 3 million subscriber influencer will get.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll get $250,000 easy.
Yeah.
31-year-old Habs who isn't being flashed money,
Hmm.
uh has the time to look at this and go, I've heard of blue light, but and I've heard of its negative effect on vision.
Hmm.
But even then, that's not even all that major.
Right. Right.
And but now they're talking about skin.
Yeah.
Let me look into this. However, 24-year-old habanero being flashed $250,000,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure puts balls on table.
Hmm.
I'm like, let's go, let's lather them up, buddy.
I'm trying to think of like where I was mentally at 24. Because that might help me.
If a
Uh,
company tells you, if a company says, I want to start another company,
uh,
we're going to hire you as a co-founder.
yeah.
Here's your salary. Here's your $250,000 signing bonus and your first year salary. And
Hmm.
then, every additional year it's going to be this much.
Hmm.
And we have you for 3 years. So you have a guaranteed income for 3 years.
Right.
And all you've got to do is sell Pirelli's Miracle Elixir.
Right. So you think it's a situation where it's gullibility based on age and lack of experience,
Yeah,
and
age,
also
age
and also beautiful money.
yeah, it's money,
Yeah.
gullibility, and like plausible there's gullibility and plausible deniability in that.
Right. But I mean,
Because
like,
because even now she's saying, oh, they've shown me the science.
yeah,
I just can't show you the science.
yeah.
Like there's plausible deniability there.
Hmm.
And she's also like, I'm kind of stuck in this contract now,
Yeah.
which poor her. She'll just have to wipe her tears with the $250,000 she got.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't. It's weird because then I'm trying to think of companies that are run by influencers and YouTubers that are not a scam. But I mean, sure, like, anybody could argue, oh, well, they're garbage, but it's like they're not, scamming you with the idea of like it's one thing when it's really not. So, like, I think of like, like I know that Jacksepticeye runs a coffee company. It's coffee. So, you're
Yeah,
not getting,
sure.
yeah. Or like you have, Markiplier has like a clothing brand called Cloak, which he also runs with Jack. And that's clothing. So, like, that's not a scam, like there's no way. So, like, I'm trying to think of like at what point, like, are the, and I mean I can't possibly know because I don't have all the information. I don't work in the business with them, so I can't possibly know. But I mean,
Society is to blame for this.
yeah, you think
The
so?
only reason the only reason why a company can go to Valkyrie, say, here's a quarter of you have 3.5 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Here's a quarter, you are worth $250,000 to
Hmm.
us. Go pimp our shit.
Yeah.
The only reason why that works is because she has 3.5 million subscribers.
Right.
1 million of them straight up will buy whatever she tells them to buy.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that really sucks, which is, it's actually funny that you said that too, because that actually brings up other stuff that really bugs me that we kind of touched on a little bit, which is we were talking about like TikTokers going out and doing milk crate challenges, or TikTokers going out and dry scooping, and which is very dangerous, and those things can cripple you or kill you. And they're doing it to be famous, right? And because they have like a lot of subscribers and stuff like that, and it's just like,
Actually, no, they're doing it so they can get famous, so that
they
some
can,
company will come up to them and say, "Here's $250,000.
yeah.
Go sell our miracle elixir."
And the problem is like, this is like, that's exactly it. The problem is though, is that like, there's a content creator that I really enjoy watching, and he likes to describe this kind of stuff as failing upwards, like being successful through failure, which is the idea that you're doing something stupid or bad or dangerous, but because it's stupid, bad, and dangerous, it makes you successful. Like, and one of the first times that I really started hearing about stuff like this was during the Gorilla Glue Girl situation, if you remember that.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is, yeah, which is this girl,
be
and
retarded for clout.
yeah, exactly, being an idiot, like I said, failing upwards, being successful because you're doing something that evolution says you should die over.
Yeah,
Like, we're kind of in this
making
society.
natural selection your biatch.
Yeah, that's literally what it is like, and then what happens is they get successful, and then they're, successful, and then they're attracting people, and then they reproduce, and we continue to build society in this way.
Yeah,
where the stupid people, or the people who are making terrible decisions, are the ones that are continuing to build the pillars of our society. It's like, come
yep.
on, like, are you for real? Like, come on, man. Um, but yeah, that's exactly, this is a prime example of where it's that, like, I don't want to say like that everybody's terrible and everybody is wrong, but it is legitimately true, where it's like you make these bad decisions, and have a lot of people following you, and like those people that are following you, and you're making these bad decisions, and they're going to go out and buy these products. They're going to go out and buy this snake oil skincare to rub,
Yeah, and
and
it. First of all, like, I don't know why anybody cares about this, because in my little bit of research on this product,
mhm.
it's they rub Crisco on their skin before they start gaming.
Mm,
Like, whatever.
I'd lick that.
Right. So, like, it's not like it's out of all these influencers selling shit,
Yeah,
like just crap selling a scam.
yeah,
Like, this is like the least harmful of the scam cells that anybody has ever been involved in.
yeah. I think the reason why it rubbed me so weirdly, and why I wanted to talk about it, is because
I mean,
when it
it's
comes,
overpriced because it's for gamer.
yeah, it's bathwater, bro.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's basically like a moisturizing cream.
yeah, targeted at gamers.
A beauty company sold a moisturizing cream,
Hmm. Yeah,
but found a way to label for gamers on it,
yeah.
so that they could sell it at the for gamers upcharge.
Which
Like,
admittedly probably creates like a larger market for them.
no, I mean, it's a beauty product for gamers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the intention of like, you're
I
gamers,
mean,
you don't have reasons to put on makeup and go outside, so we're going to
that's
give you a beauty product that allows you to stay inside.
yeah, but I mean, how many gamers, girl or otherwise, care that much about their complexion, where they're going to buy a $50 tub of splooge.
Well, I mean, but that's the point, right? Is they're giving them a reason to buy it now because it's like, oh, you're not going outside, you're staying indoors. Here's the product for you, then, right?
Yeah, but you got to. The thing is you still have to find the intersection in the Venn diagram.
Mm.
Like getting a moisturizing cream and saying for gamers,
Yeah.
so that you could give it the typical, like, you know how people have like gamer keyboards and gamer mice,
Right.
and it's usually like twice as expensive as a non RGB keyboard and mouse set.
Okay.
So this skincare company sells like a generic moisturizing cream, but puts for gamers on it,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can upsell, so that they can upcharge it
Right.
by
Right.
how much percentage. The problem is like I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know a lot of gamers that care so much about their complexion that they're going to buy skincare products.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're in the market for skincare products at all.
Right.
So
So you think
the
that
only
even if this
reason,
was legitimate, like let's pretend that like the rays
well,
from the television were harmful,
okay,
and
so if we are in a world where we're pretending,
yeah, you
blue
think it would
light,
still fail?
blue, yeah, it would still fail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if it was legitimate, like, how many gamers do you know care about their complexion enough to buy overpriced skincare products?
Mm-hmm.
Most gamers don't even use like lotion for their skin,
Mm-hmm.
like for their hands and stuff, to keep their hands from drying up.
Right.
Like, they don't even do that, man.
Maybe it's for the attractive normies that are trying to pretend that they're gamers. Maybe it's all a conspiracy.
Yeah,
It's
but
all
they're not gonna spend the for gamer upcharge.
I don't know. I don't know. Beauty products, man.
Well,
Beauty
the
products.
thing is they're gonna look at it and they're gonna be like, oh, I don't spend all my time in front of a monitor, so I don't need the $50 sunscreen. I could buy the $10 sunscreen.
Well, I mean, but then also it's like, what about like the fact that it's a premium product? Buying it for like it's like buying a Gucci bag. You know, like you don't need the Gucci bag. You don't need like a super fancy expensive purse.
The Gucci the Gucci moisturizing sunscreen
Yeah, you buy the Gucci moisturizing sunscreen so that you could say that you are using the Gucci moisturizing sunscreen.
for gamer
Yeah.
isn't the Gucci tag. For gamer, to those people, for gamer wouldn't be the Gucci tag.
But isn't it the same?
Valkyrie does not sell them the Gucci skincare product, because they don't know who Valkyrie is.
Hmm. But
Like, they're gonna see this Filipino chick and be like, who the
Bruh.
this? They want, if they're gonna be sold the sunscreen,
yeah.
it's gonna be sold by Scarlett Johansson,
Hmm.
or
Oh, ScarJo.
yeah, they're gonna get ScarJo to sell them, or Angelina Jolie or somebody, or Madonna. Like, not some 24-year-old Filipina chick who, quite frankly, has fairly good complexion on her own.
Yeah.
But,
Well, because she gets all prettied up for streaming.
well, yeah, but she's also kind of dark skinned.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that
So,
makes
like,
sense.
what's a dark skinned chick gonna do selling you sunscreen?
I do actually. Now that I think about it, that is kind of funny. She's like, "Oh yeah, I don't use it because I don't need it, but you should use it. I'll sell it to you. You should use it."
Yeah, so it's just this whole thing, it just seems weird.
Yeah.
This company pretty much just got Valkyrie to sell her, to basically sell her whole brand off for whatever bag they gave her.
Yeah. We said did it say $250,000, or were you just using that as an example?
I was using that as an example because
Okay.
that's about what FaZe Clan had,
Gotcha.
and we know what and we know what FaZe Clan got to pump up their crypto.
So you're saying that what really matters here is the price tag. Like the idea was that she sold out for a price tag.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, she was sold.
Yeah.
She sold her brand and all of her followers off to Ultra Skincare for whatever
What?
dollar amount,
Sure.
and that's who she is now.
Yeah. The reason why I took such an interest in this is because, see, when we talk about cryptocurrencies,
You love
you,
the drama.
well, I mean, well, it's not just the drama. It's that, like, when it came to the cryptocurrency stuff, I wasn't as drawn into it because that kind of stuff doesn't really, like, it's not something that is so clearly makes sense to me. Like the idea of, like, because I mean, I'll be honest, I don't fully understand cryptocurrencies. I don't buy cryptocurrencies. I don't invest in cryptocurrencies. Like, that stuff is not something, I mean, I know that I can't, like, I can understand it, but it's because I'm not, like, it's not something that I could see myself legitimately going out and buying. But the reason why the whole thing with this is so interesting to me is because, like, it's a product that you could, like, that I could legitimately understand myself and other people buying, rather than saying some fake investment, right?
Right.
And also I can look at the product and read what it's about and clearly immediately know that it's a scam. Like, I can clearly look at it and being like, this is clearly a scam. Whereas with cryptocurrency, it's like, well, there's Bitcoin and stuff like that. So I mean, those are considered to be successful. So I mean, I can't possibly know.
They're still a scam.
No, I do get that. I do get that, like, because I mean, I'm not a cryptocurrency investment because
Even
it's,
pro tip, if it's cryptocurrency, it's likely a scam.
yeah. And I mean, I
Even
like,
even stable coins are at this point kind of sketchy.
yeah. It's just that, like, it's something that is physical that I can understand when looking at it, that it is clearly a big mess. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, I don't really understand the full idea of, like, investing in a cryptocurrency. So that, even though it does, it seems like it's a scam, it's not something that I could physically understand, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I thought this was so interesting, was because, like, you can literally, like, it's something where you can look at the science of this and, like, read what it's all about, and, like, understand that, like, oh well, there are other skincare products that, like, do things that are legitimate because of the science behind them. And it's like, you look at this and you understand the science, and you understand, like, how people are going to, read it and understand how it functions and be like, this is a scam, you know
Right.
that's why I found it so interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
but this story is basically the same story as the as everything else.
yeah.
Inexperienced, young, non-prepared social media influencer
Hmm.
gets a little bit of clout and instantly looks to cash out uh on the first bidder.
Yeah. Another part of it that I thought was really interesting too, and like I said, this is like what you were saying about me, which is, I just think the drama is interesting, and you're right, I do. But I thought it was really interesting how she made it worse. She made it worse by doing a stream where she starts, putting other influencers on blast. And
She has to.
yeah,
Like at that point she's signed this contract which she's already said, "Hey, I'm kind of sold to."
yeah,
So she's got all these people who abandoned her and she kind of has to attack them at this point because she's the ambassador of the brand.
Yeah.
Like, so she's got to like tell because she has her followers,
Mm-hmm.
however many are still around.
I don't know if this is actually going to like negatively impact her channel to a significant means. Though she'll probably lose people, but I don't think that she's going to like lose everybody overnight. Like I've seen like,
Oh no,
some people.
she won't lose a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if she dips below 3 million
Subscribers. Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll lose about 500,000 subscribers for this.
Hmm.
But the thing is, she probably was going to lose that 500,000 subscribers
Doing something else.
in just a general YouTube
Yeah.
inactivity purge.
Sure. Sure.
But the thing is like now she's gotta like every time she streams on YouTube or Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
she's got to do the thing. It's your boy, Reflect Cream. Kind of like how like
yeah.
it's kind of like how all those YouTubers and social media influencers, like almost anybody who's even remote tangentially
Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, no, we are definitely not sponsored by your
But hey,
boy Raid Shadow Legends.
But hey, you know what? Raid Shadow Legends, if you want to throw $250,000 at me and Lettuce, call me up. Call us up.
Dude, I will totally download Raid Shadow Legends.
For $250,000, I would too.
No, not even for $250,000, for like $2,000.
You know what, Raid Shadow Legends? Just send me and Lettuce like $50. Just
just like
$50.
Give me a hundo. Okay. No. Give me 500. Like, give me 500, and I will stream every week, and I will talk about. I probably will never play your game on stream.
Yeah.
Because no, that's not true. I might like once a month do a Raid Shadow Legends stream because there's a PC. Because there's a PC version of it.
Really? That I did not know. I just assumed it was always a mobile game.
No. I mean, there is a piece. According to Count Dankula, I've heard him talk about a PC version of it.
I'm actually surprised that you know more about this than I do. Like.
Yeah, so like give me enough to buy a new video card.
Yeah, there you go.
Give me enough to buy like non-scalper prices. I'm not too greedy.
Sure.
Give me a 3070 non-scalper prices.
Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends, call us up. We'll negotiate.
And I'll stream once a week, and during my streams, whether or not I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends, which I'll play it once a month on stream. Who cares? I'll talk about my boy Raid Shadow Legends.
So that's your selling price, huh? 500? 500?
Yeah, 500.
Okay. I'm gonna try something. So I saw this happen on a podcast one time that I thought was really interesting. Okay, so Raid Shadow Legends, and you said like you would do it like, would you say once a week, like every week?
I would go from not making any content to streaming at least once a week. And during my streams, I would mention Raid Shadow Legends at least twice.
Okay, and how long would you do that? For like a year, 2 years, 3 years?
A year. They would this would be a $500 a year contract.
500. Okay. So $500 for streaming once a week for a year, and you would rep them, right? So after hearing 500, what about 400? Would you do it for 400?
No, I can't buy 3070 with that money.
Okay, so it's just 500. Okay, never mind then. I was gonna, yeah.
I mean, if Raid Shadow Legends just wants to like give me graphics cards,
yeah,
like high-end graphics cards,
Uh-huh.
once a year,
Yeah.
I mean, same deal. Like if they don't want to do it in cash, they want to do it in like physical goods, like
Uh-huh.
trades. I can barter. I'm not too proud.
I don't know. I see the product placements for like Ridge Wallet and stuff like that, and Harry's Dollar Shave Club or whatever.
I
And
mean,
when I
I
see
would
those, huh?
I would totally pimp Raycons.
Yeah, man.
I would never use them because I get really bad like sinus infections anytime I wear an earbud.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I get like I get really bad sinus infections,
Right.
but I would at the beginning of everyone like I'll stream and I'll talk about, wearing my Raycons during the stream. And then when it goes to VOD, I will cut a ad in the middle of my VOD of, a Raycon sponsor read.
hmm
I do Raycon.
Yeah, I would
I
actually use them if they were doing Raycons. I
I mean,
mean,
I wouldn't they would have to pay me money. I
yeah, yeah,
wouldn't
yeah, 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 yeah.
I wouldn't accept
Just
Raycon
accept the
product.
product. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have because I can't use their product.
hmm
I would
Well,
never
that's
say that but if they were paying me, I would never say that in public.
yeah.
Uh
Not sponsored by Raycon. Uh,
Not sponsored by Raycon yet.
yet, yet.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I do
Raycon, slip into my DMs, bro.
I would do Ridge Wallet.
Yeah, me too.
I would do actually, I would do Ridge Wallet. I would do Manscaped
Sure. Well, because like
because
these are things that are like because when we were talking about like that cream, like we've recognized from all angles that there's this it's a scam and like you'd be selling out for a scam. But like when you're doing like Raycon or Dollar Shave Club or Ridge Wallet or Manscaped, it's like that is clearly a product that is like not a scam. It's designed to do something specific, and to some degree we could apply it to our lives and thus sell it properly
right.
to a consumer base, right?
Just imagine all the balls jokes we can make,
Oh
like
man, yeah, it'd be worth it.
doing Manscaped.
I would totally take Manscaped because not only would Manscaped like be a great, product to like rep, and also, by the way, not sponsored by Manscaped. It would be a great product to rep, and also like, you could legitimately see yourself using it. But on top of that, like you said, it's literally content. You could make ball jokes like nonstop through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's literally content. Like it's so good.
But meanwhile, like I've never heard anybody say anything positive about Raid Shadow Legends that they weren't paid to say.
Yeah, exactly.
So anytime.
But that's not a scam though. Like, do you
No,
think
no,
that
no, it's
Raid
not a
Shadow
scam.
Legends is a scam?
No, I mean it's an
Yeah.
actual game.
Yeah.
But the problem is like I've never heard anybody repping Raid Shadow Legends
Sure.
without being paid to rep Raid Shadow Legends.
Right. Well, I
So
mean,
it's one of
because
those things. So it's one of those things where it's like, come on, bro.
yeah.
Like I know you're sponsored, but
Well, because like here's an interesting example. Because like there was a job that I worked at where um I had a coworker who was super duper into Genshin Impact, right? And he would talk about it all the time, right? He would talk about like what he was doing on Genshin Impact and like what he was doing. Like he would pull out his phone and he'd show Genshin Impact and he'd be playing it. And like that's a real person. Like he loved that game. He was really into it. But like no, I've never like, and there's some other examples of people that I've seen do that with games like that, like mobile games or whatever, where they're super into it. But like nobody does that for Raid Shadow Legends.
yeah,
Like
no.
I couldn't I don't think I've ever seen any kind of person ever be like, bro, I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends on my phone and I am so into it. Like when, how, like when would that be a thing? Like
Yeah, like all the people that I've heard talk about it, I've never seen them play Raid Shadow Legends.
yeah.
So I mean, but that's a sponsorship. That's a little bit different than the creating something and trying to sell it,
But
and
like,
then the
you
thing
know,
ending up being a scam.
You know, Raid Shadow Legends, if you contact me and you negotiate with us, we have nothing but major amazing things to say about you. So go ahead and go ahead and contact us, and we'll be able to say all the wonderful things about the amazing game that you've produced.
Like your
Allegedly.
awesome PvP arena.
Not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Um, okay. Well, I think we should probably wrap this up. We've been once again going for quite a while.
Yeah, we've established that we're whores.
Oh man, but like I like to think that we're smart about it though, right? We the whole thing that we went through with all that discussing that is that we have the ability to see a bad business decision, right? Like, and that's what I really wanted to focus on was the fact that it's like you can look at that cream and be like, this is a bad business decision. But
I don't
like,
know. Like you look at that cream and you go, first do no harm.
yeah,
It's just splooge.
yeah, it's just butter
It's
for your face,
yeah, it's just a can
face
of
butter.
splooge. It's a can of splooge.
Spray that Pam on.
Yeah. So I'm getting this fat bag to hawk a can of splooge to my less than intelligent followers.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
No harm. No, I mean, first do no harm.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess like, but the thing is that if you're buying a product because you think it does one thing, but it's not doing that thing at all, despite the fact that it's being advertised as being able to do that thing, isn't that actually harming your consumer base?
No,
Hmm.
no. There's a subtlety there because it's not doing it. It's just what it says that it's doing is not something that was going to affect you unless you're already like got all you already
Okay.
have like certain
So
dermatological conditions.
I think I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that it is literally chemically designed to prevent what it says it's preventing, but the thing that it's designed to prevent is so insignificant that overall it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, unless you have certain dermatological conditions where you're highly susceptible
Yeah.
to blue light radiation.
Right.
Um, the cream has no benefit for you other than the moisturizing qualities
Yeah.
that
So I
also
guess in the end it
come with it.
wasn't a scam.
No. It's not a scam. It's just Pirelli's miracle elixir.
Yeah, sure. So, guys, if you made it all the way to the end of the podcast, we did in fact come to the conclusion that this cream that Valkyrie is selling is in fact not a scam. So, so you heard it here on the Imaginary Boys podcast that the cream is not in fact a scam. It only took us like an hour and 40 minutes to get to that point. Uh,
Yeah,
all right. So, any last minute thoughts of any kind before we wrap this up?
it smells like piss with ink.
Mm. Like right now where you are, it smells like piss with ink.
No, I'm talking about the can of splooge.
Oh, okay. I
Pirelli's
kind
mir-
of. Oh,
I'm
go
I'm
ahead.
still I've been quoting Sweeney Todd this entire time.
Yeah, you're kind of on a Sweeney Todd kick tonight. I've noticed
I
that.
have
You're not
I have
gonna you're not gonna open up a barber shop and start making meat pies right below it, right? Like we're good, right?
no comment.
Okay, and thank you all for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Um, so go ahead and if you haven't already, go ahead and like and possibly comment, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Check in the description below for all of the wonderful links, such as PayPal and Streamlabs. All donations are greatly appreciated, and they help towards the channel for making a better viewing and listening experience for you guys. So, all donations are super helpful. Thank you so much for that. I'd like to give a wonderful shout out to the Patreon members, which include Bo Falcon, Fajuk Enterprises, James P., Miss Rebecca, as well as the wonderful Scorpigeist. Thank you guys so much, the wonderful Patreon members, for donating on a regular basis because your wonderful donations keep the channel running super duper smoothly. So thank you very, very much. Other than that, guys, follow your dreams. Apparently go out and buy Valkyrie's miracle cream, I guess, or
No,
not.
don't buy it.
Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Don't buy it.
You should buy
not sponsored by Valkyrie's miracle cream.
You should buy Gamer Girl bathwater instead.
There you go. Now there's a girl I can get behind, supporting Belle Delphine. Without getting too deep into it, I actually like her. I do actually like her as a person. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. We have been the Imaginary Boys. Don't go to Lettuce's Barbershop. It's not going to end well. Good night, everybody.